Hello Manchester United fans. Ruben Amorim spoke the truth about Rasmus Hojlund at Manchester United. Rasmus Hojlund has gone 7 games without a goal and has 1 goal in 28 for Man United in his second season. Even Ruben Amorim has admitted Rasmus Hojlund is getting worse. We talk about this a lot of times. A striker needs to score goals, Amorim stressed at Carrington on Friday. We try to help him, he's trying really hard and sometimes he wants some things really bad and he's worse. Alan Shearer, a would-be Manchester United number 9 in the 90s, described Hojlund as damaged. Damaged goods, perhaps? 2 years after investing £72 million in Hojlund to make him their long-term number 9, United will be moving for a new number 9 in the summer. Hojlund has played 1 game more than last season and has half as many goals. Shido Obi was instructed to warm up as soon as the second half started against Wolves. The only surprise was that he had to wait 25 minutes to get on. When Hojlund's number was up, he acknowledged the crowd and headed off urgently. His removal elicited sarcastic cheers earlier this season, but United matchgoers know from last season that harmony did no harm in the run-in. So United continue to embark on borderline lapse of honor even in defeat at Old Trafford. Thousands stay, but thousands have also long since left. 3 months ago, Amorim summoned Joshua Zirkzee after Hojlund lost an aerial duel against Southampton. Hojlund was wrapped in a tracksuit top on the bench after only 53 minutes. Most ignominiously, Hojlund was one of 5 United players branded not good enough or overpaid by Sir Jim Ratcliffe last month. Hojlund is probably both. It is not his fault United overestimated him or settled on a potential striker rather than a proven commodity. A senior figure at United hoped Hojlund would turn into Wayne. That's Rooney, not John Wayne. Hojlund is not as quick off the draw as the Duke. He had to cross or shoot after leaving Emmanuel Agbadou in his wake last week and did neither. Hojlund has had a startling 24 shots in 28 Premier League games this season. Amorim is having to manage Hojlund's confidence more than his workload or form. Hojlund should start at Bournemouth on Sunday not just to maintain his match rhythm but to keep his chin up. A full debut for Obi is foreseeable in the run-in, but Brentford away on May 4th, sandwiched between the 2 semi-final legs against Athletic Bilbao, is the date to circle in the calendar. Starting Obi against Bournemouth could crush Hojlund's confidence. The 22-year-old is sensitive about teammates hesitating whether to pass to him, never mind a 17-year-old and fellow Danes starting ahead of him. Amorim also said last week that removing Hojlund from the team would do no good as he then cannot score. Hojlund has got 1 goal in 28 games and is United's only senior striker. Amorim has not seriously entertained a strikerless starting 11 since the ill-fated experiment in the defeat to revealed why Manchester United refused to sign Victor Osimhen. 3-time UEFA Champions League winners, Manchester United, have decided to stop their pursuit of Super Eagles and Galatasaray striker Victor Osimhen, Soccernet.ng reports. Ruben Amorim's side have been linked with the Napoli loanee since the turn of the year, with reports about a potential swap deal involving Alejandro Garnacho surfacing. Osimhen's move to Old Trafford now appears to have hit the rocks as the Red Devils have pulled the plug on the deal. Osimhen has scored 30 goals and provided 7 assists in 35 games for Galatasaray this season, and has his gaze fixed on a Premier League move in the summer. But Carrington will not be where his journey ends. As per Give Me Sport, Manchester United have abandoned their pursuit of the 26-year-old striker due to his wage demands. The record Premier League champions were willing to pay Osimhen's £65 million wages, but his salary demands meant the deal was off the cards. With Manchester United out of the race for the 2023 CAF Player of the Year, Arsenal, Chelsea and Paris Saint-Germain have an open window to go all out for Osimhen. For United, their attention turns to other options. Liam Delap is a name that has been increasingly linked to the club over the past few weeks. In transfer and in wages, the Englishman will cost far less than Osimhen. Unai Emery drops big Marcus Rashford hint as Man United loanee set for big summer. Marcus Rashford has become a big hit at Aston Villa with Unai Emery backing the Manchester United loanee, whose loan move could yet become a permanent switch this summer. Unai Emery has suggested that Marcus Rashford's versatility will help Aston Villa get to the level we want and that the loanee's ability to play several positions has been a factor in him leapfrogging Ollie Watkins in the pecking order. Rashford was out in the cold at Manchester United and had underperformed for 18 months before moving to Villa Park in January. He's quickly rediscovered his best form and is now starting and regularly influencing games for the Midlands outfit. His exploits have seen Watkins have to accept a bench role, which he's confessed has been frustrating. Rashford was picked to start in the recent crunch games with PSG, and Emery has admitted that forwards capable of playing in more than one role are better. The United loanee has played centrally through the middle but equally has been effective when playing out wide, where he's put his pace to good use. Emery admits that Villa are a better side with Rashford at their disposal ahead of a huge summer for the player and the two clubs. Emery said, "You always need two strikers and being versatile is better. Rashford is versatile. I want to have players like these two as we try to get to the level we want. I like to have players in the squad at the level those two have shown us. My job is to share the playing time between both, manage the person as well as the professional as well as the tactical idea and my selection for each match. I want to have the same selection problems I have had in the last matches we have played. Some players will be on the bench, but they are very important and they have showed it this season by making an impact. That's what I want. I had more problems when I didn't have enough players to play at the level I wanted. Now I have enough to compete at this level, and we can see the difference between how we are now and how we were 6 months ago." Watkins has started on the bench in 3 of the last 5 Premier League games. Villa can land Rashford for £40 million in the summer should the player be keen on making his move permanent. He wants to play in the Champions League, which Villa could yet offer him. Ruben Amorim has not completely shut the door Rashford and claimed the forward could still have a future in Manchester despite being shipped out on loan to Villa and failing to feature for more than a month before his exit as the pair clashed over their attitudes. All the players on loan will return and then the club will decide what to do at the end of the season, the Portuguese boss said on Friday. When you put a player on loan, the best thing is for them to perform. All these loan players have talent and they have to put that on the team. The talent of Rashford, the talent of Antony, Man United icon Peter Schmeichel leaps to defense of under-fire goalkeeper Andre Onana. Andre Onana has copped criticism throughout the season, and the Manchester United goalkeeper was recently dropped by Ruben Amorim, but has the backing of a former great. Peter Schmeichel insists it would be very, very wrong to single out Andre Onana during a season whereby Manchester United have struggled more than ever in the Premier League. Ruben Amorim's side will post the club's worst finish for decade come May. Despite the change in manager, United have continued to struggle for results and languish in the bottom half of the table. Onana has been among the players to cop particular criticism, with several of his errors proving defining in numerous results. The Cameroonian has struggled throughout his time in Manchester, with plenty questioning his credentials as he remains the team's number one. He was signed to replace David De Gea, but since making his debut has put fans on edge. Schmeichel played in a trophy-laden era at Old Trafford and knows full well how scrutinized the club's results are. The Dane concedes that an error by a United player is magnified far more than at any other team, with Onana having to face the spotlight continuously. He was quizzed on the goalkeeper's poor form and told TalkSport, "It's been a difficult year. It's been a difficult year for everyone. So singling out anyone, I think that would be very, very wrong. Just look where Manchester United are in the Premier League. The players are not having the greatest time. I try to explain this to people. Why is it different playing for Manchester United as opposed to any other club? I showed this to my wife the other day. We have a broadsheet newspaper in Denmark that doesn't have a sports section, but they still carry Manchester United's results, and not just a little line but in an article. If you're any other club or most other clubs, you don't have that. You don't have all the fringe, non-sporting papers reporting on your games, and that is where the pressure is. Every single thing you do in a game of football will be reported everywhere in the world. For instance, as a goalkeeper, if you make a mistake, everybody in the world will be talking about that mistake. If you make a mistake for so many other clubs in the Premier League, they might just be in the newspaper the next day. But you're not going to talk about it tomorrow or the day after." Onana has continued to have the backing of his manager, but after some recent errors in a draw with Lyon, he was dropped for the defeat at Newcastle. He's since returned to the starting 11, but there is talk of United pursuing a new goalkeeper in the summer.